Good evening, everyone. How is everybody doing? And
It's
happy
cold.
Good.
Good evening, Dr. Edu.
good
Good, Dr.
evening.
Do.
Happy New Year to everyone.
Doctor.
Yeah, so we couldn't meet for last week because no, not last week. Last week and the week before. Because the week before when we were supposed to meet, we were hijacked by the AI challenge, and we are done with the AI challenge. The results of it and some of the products that we came up with will be ready next week. It was supposed to be this week, but we're moving it to next week to give everybody a chance to be able to win the prize for the AI Cybersecurity and GRC challenge. So for folks who were part of the AI challenge, maybe they can share a word or two of what they were able to learn and how best this is helping them on the job, even outside cybersecurity, in their professional life and day to day. I know I can see some folks on here who were part of the AI challenge, but next week is when we are going to, go through and look at some of the products, some of the agents that were created that you could call on the phone and they can answer some questions for you. And so everything that you are running into with other businesses and organizations. We showed everybody who participated in the AI challenge exactly how to do that. So with that, we are going to jump into our discussion for tonight. Now, any questions about career path for 2026 cybersecurity professionals? So this is for absolute beginners and for folks who are in the industry and you are looking to advance in your career. There is going to be something for everybody, right? And we are transmitting live on YouTube. Our YouTube channel is back up for a little bit now. So for anybody who is not aware, our YouTube channel is back up and running. And on that note, I would like to welcome everybody back. I miss everybody. I hope everybody had a great, wonderful Christmas and a happy New Year. And 2026 is going to be the year, right? So for folks who've been waiting, and if you're still on the fence, you applied for 2 jobs, 3 jobs, and they said no, so you almost gave up or you gave up. 2026 is the year to come back, right? And not to give up, right? So if you follow exactly the blueprint I'm going to show you, don't just listen to it and go do your own stuff. But if you follow exactly what I tell you, yes, there are going to be some rejections, there are going to be those ups and downs. But if you keep your eye on the goal, you are going to be successful, right? So on that, we are going to start time now. Right, everyone. Welcome back. So for folks who are joining us for the first time, this is Eretmis Cyber Chat. We do this every Friday night, 7 p.m. Eastern to 7 p.m. Eastern to at least 8:30, 9. Mostly we do up to 9. We are a very, great cybersecurity community. We help each other. It's a good place to network. There are a lot of cybersecurity professionals here who also started from no background or with some background. They are working. They are there to help and mentor and coach you. And there are some who have not even gotten jobs yet, but they know and can do more than even people who are already on the field, right? So there's a lot of a good mixture of security professionals that you can always learn from and tap from. We have a WhatsApp group that is going to be posted. You can join the group as well. A lot of learning going on that side as well. So you are welcome. This is brought to you by Eretmis Academy. And Eretmis Academy is a cybersecurity institute based out of New York. And like I said, we do this every Friday night, 7 p.m. Eastern. A little bit about myself, Dr. Emmanuel Ledoux. I'm a cybersecurity professional. I'm also the owner of a cybersecurity company and the founder of Eretmis Academy. For our company, we do cybersecurity projects. Our special niche is PCI DSS. For Academy, we train cybersecurity professionals from entry level, intermediate, advanced. Right. I'm also a former professor at University of Maryland Global Campus, and CTC as well. And on that note, we are going to jump in. So Eretmis, we are partners, CompTIA authorized partners. And what this means is that we have discounts for all CompTIA exams vouchers. So if you're looking to sit for any of these exams, kindly bear with me, my slides are acting up tonight. So if you want to sit for any of these certifications, you can reach out and we'll give you the 20% discount on any voucher. And this is done only by CompTIA. Other exams bodies, they don't have any vouchers that they are giving out. And also for anyone looking to renew your certification, being here tonight, every 45 minutes will count as one point for your CE or CEUs or CPE, regardless of how they call it, your continuing educational points. You can use that as well. So you can type in the chat team hashtag team live, and you can screenshot of that. You can use that to count towards your points for your certification renewal. And our WhatsApp group is going to be posted for Cyber Chat, and also our platform School platform is a platform that we are moving most of the things that we are doing. Some of the things that we cannot do on WhatsApp, we are moving in there, like some mini courses and other stuff like that. So School, you can also join School platform as well. Now, tonight's discussion, we are jumping cyber news because there's a lot that we are going to talk about. We are going to be looking at the 2026 cybersecurity and GRC career roadmaps, right? So this is step-by-step strategy on how you'll be able to break into the industry, or if you're in already, how you'll be able to advance yourself within this space. So there are a lot of, I know there are a lot of questions in this regard, and we are going to address all that as we move along tonight. So we will start with looking at some of the myths surrounding cybersecurity careers still and GRC careers still. So some people, and before I jump into it, there is a lot more than what I have on the screen, right? But I'm going to ask this, open it up to the audience, and everybody can give their take also. And if you have any questions and any other myth that you want to bring up, we are there to answer all those. So for some people are of the view that cybersecurity industry, including GRC, is saturated. So why the need, right, pursuing a career in this space? And some of them simply based on their frustration because they tried to break into the industry, it didn't work, or they've seen almost everybody and their mom on LinkedIn saying they're cybersecurity professionals. Well, maybe that is what, is making them say that. But what do you think? Right? You can raise your virtual hand and you can make your point. Maybe it is saturated. Maybe it's not, right? And then we will look at the facts. So anyone in the audience you can raise your virtual hand and then you let me know what your take on this is. And if you've also heard this around. Any takers on this? Anybody think the industry is saturated? There are no more, and what I mean by saturated is there are no more jobs for people, right? So Isaac, please go ahead.
Yeah, so my take on it is it's a myth, right? It's not true. Cybersecurity keeps growing every day, and organizations are looking for professionals. So to me, it's false.
Okay, Isaac, thank you. Anybody else? Maybe Dr. Edu is saying it's a myth, but it can be a fact. All right. Renee, please go ahead. And why do people even think that? Renee,
I
please go
think
ahead.
I think it's a myth because given the environment we are in today, we have a growing user. What I mean user is like a growing device that is getting more online. Like in every home now, we have most device is connected to the web. That means we need to secure them, otherwise somebody might take over your house. And those kind of things is keep growing, and that means more challenge and need more people to be able to support those kind of opportunities. as cybersecurity professional in order to protect every device that's getting out there worldwide. Because if somebody can sit on the other end of the world and control your house if your stuff is not secure. So yeah, it's a myth. So opportunity are available. You just need to know how to take advantage of them.
Okay. Anybody else? I think we had Daniel. Please go ahead.
Hi. I believe it's a myth. Looking at the job market, what I see is you have a lot of jobs. However, you don't have people with the right skill set to pick up this jobs. So I actually concur with the two others that have spoken before me.
Okay. Thank you for that, Daniel. And Lama, please go ahead.
Yes, I also think it's a myth. But I think what makes people think it's not is because employers put like maybe the job of 3 different cybersecurity specialties in one post, and then that makes the entry barrier very high. So then people wonder, okay, so then who's getting these jobs?
Okay.
So that's my answer.
All right. Thank you. And I think one more, Felix, and then we are going to move on.
Yes, I don't think it's a complete myth, because when you look at job posting, you actually see the requirements fit some of the things that are on screen here. Like for example, you look at job posting, you always commonly see they require a degree, and they require a degree. Um, And even if you think that it's a myth, when you get into the market to compete with other people who have experience and who have degrees, it doesn't give you the advantage. So it's not a complete myth, and that's why we do the trainings. If it was a complete myth, then nobody don't need to train, and that's why people have to acquire the skills to be able to fit into the job market. So for me, it's not a complete myth.
Okay, so I think, yes, great point, Felix. So Felix is making a point, which kind of also supports what everybody has made. And Felix is of the view that, yes, maybe there is something in there somewhere, in there, looking at job descriptions and the skills and qualifications that you need to do this. So even if that is a barrier, right? Are there jobs? Are there real cybersecurity? Like, are there jobs there? So because the people are saying if the industry is saturated, it means they have more than enough people. So now it becomes, almost impossible to get into the industry, right? So that is what if the even if there is a lot of openings, it doesn't also mean they are going to give you the job without proving yourself, right? So those are two separate conversations. So the jobs can be there, but then it's going to take them a while to get somebody who is qualified for it, right? For example, I'm not sure if Frank is here. Frank Osei, the job he's doing, he's a PCI compliance manager, right, at his job. And during their annual, get together as a company, he got to see his recruiter, right? And the recruiter called him to the side. That was the first time they saw each other, in person. And he's asking him, why is it so difficult to get these PCI people? Like, I mean, it took the recruiter almost 7 months to find anybody. And Frank is like, wow, okay. Because Frank got a job because the recruiter reached out to him on LinkedIn, right? And there are a lot of people on LinkedIn with the tag PCI. So what is the disconnect, right? Maybe all those are some of the things that we have to look at when it comes to the career, uh, how to position yourself and how to go about structuring stuff, right? But the jobs, yeah. So for people, maybe like Felix rightly said, for people who might say maybe it is saturated, maybe probably they are looking at some other things, right? But we can say it's a myth or it's not a myth, or what really is the facts. And there's only one place to find that out. And for folks who've joined Cyber Chat for a long time, you by now know this site, off head. So this is a site that is powered by all the way under Department of Commerce and NIST, and and there are so many industry players that came together to do this. This site shows you in real time cybersecurity job openings in the United States. Right. So this is the total cybersecurity job openings in the United States as of today. Over 500,000. This is not Dr. Edu saying. This is fact. Right. So the jobs are there. Now, also one fact about cybersecurity jobs is that, and this website is a very good resource, right? So I'm not going to tell you the jobs are there. So, once you say you're a security professional and you go to an interview, they're going to give you the job. I mean, if it was that easy, then once you apply, they'll just look at everybody's resume, your degree and your certifications, and they will give you the job without an interview. And obviously, it doesn't work like that. And in cybersecurity, and like in other fields, but cybersecurity, I'm speaking specifically for cybersecurity, at least you do 3 interviews. For all cybersecurity professionals on here, they all did at least 3 interviews. Some will even do 4, right? Mostly the 4th one will be probably with the same person or different group, right? But you do at least 3 interviews. That is not to scare anybody. You can do the 3. And the 3 interviews, all of it is not just focused on your cybersecurity technical skills and knowledge. They are testing not just your cybersecurity technical skills and knowledge. They are testing your technical cybersecurity or GRC knowledge and skill. They are testing your non-technical GRC and cybersecurity skills, right? So you can pass your technical skills portion of the interview and fail the non-technical, that is your behavioral. If you fail that, they are not going to move you forward, right? So really, there is a lot that goes into this than just knowing cybersecurity and everything is good. But also on the non-technical interviews, that is where most people struggle with. And especially for folks who've not been to any structured, course or program with no mentorship or nothing, they are very almost blinded on that side. And you go to interviews and they ask you some simple questions that you might think is silly, but that is really your interview, right? So the jobs are here. Now you can even find job openings by state. So in your state, if this is your first time of seeing this tool, it's called cyberseek.org. You can learn all about it. And then it also shows the supply and demand ratio, right? So since 2010, supply is always higher than, demand is always higher than supply, right? And the job opening trend also shows that jobs, they are increasingly, we have more openings, over the years, there's been more openings. And then also employed workforce trend. So currently there are over 1.3 million cybersecurity professionals in the United States, and they are still looking for 500,000 more, right? So if you are looking at cybersecurity as a career move, this is the facts and the figures. Now, in terms of salary, people have different opinions. Some people will say, well, Indeed says 60K to 70K. This site says this. My friend is working, he's making 120, right? For us at Eretmis, for entry level, the lowest we've had for salary is 120. The highest is 168. That is held by Matthew for now. For other courses like PCI and others, we have folks making 200s plus, right? So all that is possible. Now, what is the facts about that also? Right. If you go to Bureau of Labor Statistics, this is where you find the salary range or average salary for all professionals in the United States. And for cybersecurity, they target as for anything cybersecurity, GRC, name it, they target under one umbrella as information security analyst. So this is the tag that they use for this role. Now, salary range, median, they call it median pay for as of 2024, they've not brought out the 2025 yet, is 124K, right? Now, it also, you see typical entry education, bachelor's degree. We will talk about that later. On-the-job training, none. There is none. Yes, and that is actually true. So for everybody on here who thinks they are going to train you on the job, so you don't really have to, you just get a degree or a certification and they will do the rest. It doesn't really work that way, right? They will orient you on the things they do and train you on maybe a tool, but not on really doing your job. Now, in terms of growth, 29%, much faster than the average all other industries. Cybersecurity space is growing 29% faster than, much, faster than the average other career paths that are out there, right? Now, there are a lot that you can, learn from this. You can break it down by states. Even for the salaries, if you break it down by states, some states are higher than others. So, but this is roughly kind of the median pay, right? So now we get that out of the way before we get into the discussion, because without these facts, everything that we are going to be discussing is really of no use, right? Because we can discuss the career path and what to do and what not. But if really there are no jobs out there, the salary is really not what you're looking for, then what is the use, right? So that is why we are doing this first. At least the jobs are there. So if you're applying and they are not moving you forward to the last round or they are not giving you the job, you don't get discouraged. The jobs are there. And how many are we here? About the 90, thereabout. So if out of the 514,000 jobs, you don't think there is a job for everybody on here? There is. We just have to prove ourselves, right? And proving yourself, you might not, getting the required knowledge and skill is key, right? And then from there, packaging yourself, interviewing, polishing up your interviewing skills, that is also, key, right? Because you might have the knowledge and skills and still wouldn't be able to, maybe you've not polished your interviewing skills and, speaking skills yet. So you are unable to articulate what you did really well. So that is also something that you have to, polish up and deal with, right? So with that, let's look at our plan for tonight. And any questions on these numbers before we move on? Or somebody have probably you've seen something else elsewhere that you think, we can take a look at, right? Okay. So without any other questions on that, we are going to move into. So the myth we started with, the industry is saturated. It is not. Right now, we've seen the facts. Kingsley, please go ahead. Oh, was that a mistake, Kingsley? Augustine, please go ahead.
Yeah.
You can unmute yourself.
Yeah, sorry, I was trying to unmute.
Oh, okay.
I was asking, I had put the question on the chat. What about people that live in Canada? There is no data on that. And I was directed to this place. It looks as if it's only focused on the US.
Okay.
I live in Canada.
Okay. So there are similar sites. I think some cyber chats ago, we were looking at the one from Australia. I think we looked at one from Australia and Europe, right? I can look up and send you that information. But there are similar chats, where they are tracking cybersecurity professionals. Australia has a similar one. And I think Europe also has. And then they have the generalized one for the whole entire world. It is projected, last time I looked, it was projected, the cybersecurity professionals needed around the world was projected around 3.5 million. Right. So in Canada, they might have one. You have just research and you can get back to me if you don't find anything. Right. All right. And then also we look into another one.
The program.
Was anybody also looking to ask a question?
Yes, Dr. Du. What's the site the very first one you showed us? It was so tiny. I was trying to see if I could get the link.
Oh, okay. So I'll put it in the chat.
Okay.
It was cyberseek.org.
Okay. Thank you very much.
And the other one is just Bureau of Labor Statistics website. You just have
Yeah.
to check information security analyst, and you're going to get that. Right.
Yes, I get that one. Thank you very much.
All right. So moving forward, now some people also ask, do I need to have a computer degree or an IT degree to get into cybersecurity? And the answer to that is maybe before I just jump the gun, I can see some faces and some people on here whom I know most definitely have no IT degree, but they are working in cybersecurity. So maybe one of those can answer this question. Do you need a degree in IT or cybersecurity to work in cybersecurity? If nobody speaks up, I'm going to call somebody. I'm just looking through the list. Is that a hard requirement? You need an IT degree? Chucks, please go ahead.
No, you don't need that.
Yes, and the answer to that is a big yes, right? So just let's do the math. Now, we need over 500,000 cybersecurity professionals in the US. Supply is lower than demand. Do you think employers have the luxury of saying, well, if you don't have a degree, a degree in cybersecurity or in IT, we're not going to employ you? No, they don't, right? If the industry was saturated, that was when it's going to be a hard requirement to have a degree, or because now there are so many people, they are taking less. So now you have to compile degrees and certifications, and that is what is going to, be the deal breaker. But here they really don't have the luxury. So, but what they also are really looking for is, can you do the job? Right? What can you do? What have you done? So if you have a degree, it's good. It's nice. You can have. I spoke to a lot of people. I spoke to a guy, one gentleman, he had 2 cybersecurity degrees. 2, not 1, 2. And guess where he's working in cybersecurity? Your guess is good as mine. So you can have a PhD in cybersecurity. If you don't prove yourself to employers that you can do the job, they are not just going to give you a job because of the degrees. So that doesn't mean you shouldn't have. For everybody who wants to be a cybersecurity professional, you can start off without a degree, but I will encourage you, as you are in the industry, at least pursue a degree in cybersecurity of some sort. So if you have a bachelor's already, you are going to have a master's anyway. So why don't you do it in the career path that you've chosen, right? Just it makes sense more that way. Now, if you are looking to break into cybersecurity, I wouldn't advise you go for a master's in cybersecurity first. I will encourage you to get into the cybersecurity industry, go through some training like Eretmis and others, maybe get a certification or 2, break into the industry, and then go get a master's in cybersecurity, right? Because if you go get a master's in cybersecurity, now you have to come back and do everything that I just told you, right? And now you go to interviews and you have a master's and they are looking at you like, yeah, you're a master in this field. So at least you should know these things, or you should have done this and that and that. And you have none of that, right? So my advice to most folks who've taken it in the Eretmis community, it has really helped, including, like I've mentioned some names, Sheila, Benes, they are the ones who easily, Benes was, when she was trying to break into the industry, Benes has been working for almost 5 years now, right? She thought, Dr. Edu, I wanted to, she was doing interviews and, it wasn't, they were not moving her forward to the final. I think she did 3 or 4 interviews and she's like, I think I should get a master's first. I'm like, no, you don't need a master's. Keep interviewing. And she landed her role. And then she went to pursue her. Now she has a master's in cybersecurity. She has a CISSP. She has, right. And she's been working. She has a lot of working experience now, right. So that will be my advice to anybody looking to get a master's in cybersecurity without being in the industry, right. You are better off getting a training I'm not just recommending Eretmis, but weigh whatever training you are getting yourself into. It has to be a training worth your time and worth its salt. That will be able to help you break into the industry. But I can only speak for Eretmis. Eretmis has the best training, right? So now you don't need, and also security clearance. Do you need security clearance? Do you need to be a citizen to get into this industry? The answer to that is a big no. Now there's a caveat, right? There are some specific jobs that requires you to have security clearance or require you to be a US citizen. Those are mostly government related jobs, right? And reason why they need security clearance or they need you to be a citizen is because of the type of data you are going to come in contact with. Mostly it's going to be sensitive government data. So you cannot get security clearance if you're not a citizen, right? So everybody sees where security clearance and citizenship come into play. So you can be a citizen without a security clearance, but it's easier for them to get you a security clearance if you're a citizen. If you're not a citizen, they can't get you security clearance. So for those specific jobs, if you don't have a security clearance or you are not a US citizen, they are not even going to move you forward, or the first call is going to be the end of it, right? So if you had RMF training or you had a training that is just specifically for government jobs and you are interviewing and you're not a citizen and you are running into you're not a citizen, that doesn't mean the whole industry requires you to be a citizen or the whole industry requires security clearance. What is Bank of America going to do with security clearance or US citizenship? They don't need it, right? You only need work authorization to be able to work in the United States. And if you have the prerequisites, knowledge and skill they are looking for in cybersecurity, you pass all the interviews, they'll give you the job, right? But even if it's a private company, but they are contractors for the government and they have that requirement, like they have to also be a cleared company, then yes, you run into this. But this is just for roles. If you are targeting government roles that are specifically related to government agencies, then this is not a myth. This is something that you need to have, right? Now that also ties into certifications. Certifications are not a requirement. You can have a certification before you get a job or get a job before you get a certification. But for some specific government roles, they have some minimum certifications for you to get those roles in addition to your citizenship and your security clearance, right? So that is, that side of it. Now, do you need to know coding? Do you need to do some computer programming? The answer to that is a no, right? Now, you need coding and programming on if you want to pursue the defensive side of cybersecurity. So you want to do ethical hacking, pen testing, forensics, right? That side, you need to know coding. But on the blue side of security, GRC side, you don't necessarily need to know coding. So this is a myth on the blue side, not a myth necessarily on the red side. On the red side is a requirement. Okay. Do you need an IT background to transition? On the blue side of security, on the defensive side of security, including GRC, not necessarily, right? On the defensive side, on the offensive side, or the red team side, yes, an extensive IT background is almost a must because you wouldn't be able to function without it, right? Now, do you need to know how to type really fast? Some people have really asked this question, or you've seen this also around. And the answer to that is a no, right? Maybe if you know how to type fast, it's going to help you in some of the things you do, but really it's not a requirement. Cybersecurity is mostly hacking or red team. That is the real cybersecurity. That is also not true, right? Cybersecurity has two broad categories: defensive, offensive. Then when we include GRC and defensive, then we have just blue team and red team. Coding is only done on hacking is done on the red side, which is the offensive side of cybersecurity, right? Compliance is the same as security. Not true. Compliance means you've met the minimum standards or industry requirements. It doesn't mean your company is secure, right? Compliance is a point in time event. So you can pass your audit today, You can be in compliance with PCI DSS today, and you are going to get breached tomorrow or get hacked tomorrow. And so it doesn't mean you are secure. Now GRC is just paperwork and checking the block checklist. GRC is non-technical. GRC, you can literally get in with nothing. That is not necessarily true, right? Yes, GRC takes in account most of your soft skills and transferable skills from other industries, regardless of where you're coming from. But by no means, GRC is not just checking blocks, and a lot goes into it than that, right? So with that out of the way, we are going to jump into our actual list of things that we have to do and look at to be able to be very successful in the cybersecurity space 2026, right? Now, before we do, we are just going to run through our catalog real quick for career changes, folks looking to break into the cybersecurity space. No IT background, nothing, zero. Our cybersecurity entry-level course is the best option and the best course out there. It comes with not just training and theory, it also comes with hands-on, where you work on different cybersecurity projects, right? So you become job ready, and also we help with interview prep. We help with resume building and all that. Now, our GRC internship and workshop for folks who have gone through, maybe you have a degree in cybersecurity, a master's, you've gone through some other training, but you really don't have the hands-on. And hands-on is not using a tool, right? Yes, using a tool, you are practicing how to use a tool, but that is not the job. The tools are going to help you do the job, but if you don't know the job yourself, then that is going to be a problem. Nobody's going to train you on the job. And this is what we do for the GRC internship and workshop. You're actually going to be doing the job, not just training you on the tool, right? So if you get to anywhere, you'll be able to function and work effectively. And if you're looking to get some real world hands-on, we encourage you to look into this course. And then for cloud security, for folks, if you're already in the security space and you don't really know how to move around in the different cloud environments, you don't know how to assess security posture in the cloud environment. It is not the same as what you are going to do for on-prem. There is a total different ballgame, right? So if you are looking to get a vendor neutral training, we encourage you to look into this. And then we'll look at our AI governance and specialist program. So for everybody already in cybersecurity, I encourage you to jump onto this one, right? And you are going to understand why when we go through our list that we are going to tackle tonight, right? You cannot do cybersecurity now and just keep a blind eye to AI governance, because AI governance is going to catch up to you if you don't catch up to it before it has catch up to you, right? So for folks who were in the AI 7-day challenge, they learned a lot, but that is just the tip of the iceberg, right? When it comes to AI governance, for everybody who was in the challenge, what we did was fun, but you have to dive deep to become a full-blown GRC AI governance specialist, right? And then we have our PCI DSS for folks looking to specialize in, I'll say, quote and unquote, the most lucrative niche in the cybersecurity space. We recommend you look into our compliance, payment security compliance program as well. Now, our WhatsApp group will be posted. And with that, we are going to jump into our 2026 cybersecurity and GRC career roadmap we are starting with career switches. So for folks looking to switch careers, or on the line of switching careers, stepping into cybersecurity space, maybe you've been eyeing this or looking at this for a while. Now, 2026, I would say for anybody who is going to take this more seriously than you did maybe previously, you are going to see results in 2026. Now, for folks who are totally new and trying to switch, we started with looking at some of the numbers. Are there jobs? What about the salary? Right. So now we've established the jobs are there. There are over 500,000 unfilled jobs. Salary is also good, 100K plus, right? So now what is going to hold you back? And what is going to hold you back is what we are going to go through. So we are giving you the roadmap So that way, nothing is going to hold you back, right? Now, in cybersecurity, GRC space, the market continues to, or that space, job market continues to grow. And we all saw that, right? Now, 2025, ISC Square, one of the big players in the cybersecurity space, they are the ones who you write CISSP, and other certifications, through ISC Square. They always, every year, they conduct a cybersecurity workforce study. And for 2025, the study revealed that they surveyed 16,000 professionals and discovered that 59% of organizations reported critical and significant security skills gap. So meaning they couldn't find the cybersecurity professionals they were looking for, right? So there was that gap still there. And this really enforces what we just saw, right, for the website cybersec.org. Now, demand also, this study revealed that demand for security professionals, they are gradually shifting towards AI security. And that is why I was stressing on the AI governance program. They were stressing on AI, and this is a 2025 2025 workforce study, right? They were shifting towards AI security and cloud security skills. And the study showed that for AI security, the percentage in terms of what employers were looking for, all the skills that you are bringing to the table, 41%. And then also for cloud skills, 36%. Now, this is just narrowing it down to the 16,000 that they surveyed, right? So these were the top skills gap that they identified during this study, right? So, and then also one key thing that everybody should take away from here. So yes, it's good. They are looking for cybersecurity skills, AI skills, cloud security skills. Okay. In addition to that, they were also looking for, they also stressed on non-technical skills as well, or the traditional, GRC space that we quote unquote non-technical GRC route. Also, they were looking at GRC data privacy, security awareness, and project management. Those areas are also growing really fast, right, than your traditional cybersecurity or security positions. So this is some facts from ISC Square Cybersecurity Workforce Study, right? So with that, we are going to jump into a roadmap. Now, this roadmap, it isn't something that Dr. just came up with the list. We do a lot of research. We look into different studies that are out there, the market, and then also our own perspective on the market, right? So it's a summary of industry leading articles, our own, what we also see in the industry, in the school, our academy, what we see in terms of students getting jobs, that all contributed to this, right? So I kindly take the list that we are going to show you more seriously. And if you have any questions, you kindly bring it up. So we are going to first look at cybersecurity career roadmap. So for technical roles in cybersecurity, like SOC analysts and others, that is what we are going to be looking at first. So for your technical role, we will be looking at it also from the beginner perspective. So if you're starting off from scratch, what do you need to do? So looking at the market itself, there are some entry barriers, but all that we are going to address that as we move along. And also for the study, so these figures are not just from the ISC Square study. This is also from, this collaborates with the Bureau of Labor Statistics, that they have 29% growth when it comes to cybersecurity space, right? And then also ISC Square, what they discovered was that although there is a lot of jobs out there, there are a lot of growth. They also, one side of the equation is for them, they realize that for most entry level positions, and that will differ. Entry level positions, we can dig more into that. They discovered that 10% entry level actually have 10% worker surplus. So for some entry level roles, they are kind of like we started with, is the industry saturated or not? So this is not really saturated. they have like 10% surplus. So mostly, if they brought you in maybe as a junior auditor, they can move you into something else. But what they were recommending was that skills like AI, security, cloud, risk assessment, and others might be the differentiator, and that will move you into a different space, right? And then this is for technical roles, right? So when we are looking at the technical roles, it also comes with different, options in terms of job titles and different things that you can do, like your security operations, SOC analyst, so SOC 1, SOC 2, SOC 3. You can do offensive, going to the red side. You can do security architecture, security engineer, and others. So all those are some of the technical parts that we can take. Now for career switches, this is the roadmap, right? So one, you have to build a baseline, so baseline knowledge, and then also, if possible, right? If possible, get your hands dirty working on some, at least, knowing how to, what a switch is, what, those basic networking stuff. And without even you being able to hold them physically, you can school yourself on that, right? And that is pretty easy to do. But the baseline knowledge is, I mean, you are starting off in a new industry. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. If somebody is trying to sell you on, hey, just come and do third party, people want to start you off by specializing in an area in cybersecurity or GRC. You cannot specialize in an area you don't have any foundation in. And that applies to every industry, right? And mostly I make this, funny example. You cannot become a surgeon without being a medical doctor first. But some people want to do that in cybersecurity. I don't know how they are thinking they'll be able to do it, right? Now, even if it was possible for you to become a surgeon without being a medical doctor, what type of surgeon are you going to be? Right? Ask yourself, what type of surgeon are you going to be? A surgeon who has no medical background? You are going to kill people. All right. So you cannot jump, if you want to make this a career, don't be in a hurry to jump and get a job. You are going to get a job, but eventually when they let you go, you are still going, now you're not going to the back of the line. You are probably going to sit on the bench and wait for everybody else who is in line going, right? So build a baseline knowledge, and the baseline knowledge is not going to take you years. At least 2 to 3 months, you should be able to do that with dedicated time and studies. Now, that also, covers learning the core technical fundamentals. So that also moves into understanding security concepts, acquiring entry-level certifications. Now, the certifications, yes, plus or minus, you can work on that. But what I'm really, focusing on is your baseline knowledge. So what is your baseline knowledge? What are we doing in cybersecurity? We are protecting data. Everything that we are doing is to help minimize the risks of our data being compromised. Now, so just start your deductions from there. So if you are protecting data, regardless of what type of data, it can be credit card data, it can be health information, health data, it can be whatever type of data it is. The data runs on a network, right? So we have to protect the data, we have to protect the network. Now, how would you protect the network if you don't understand network basics and fundamentals? You don't have to be an expert in networking, right? You don't have to be an expert in data privacy, but at least you should have a good working knowledge to understand what is going on. Now, to protect your network, you move into other areas of cybersecurity as well, like cryptography. You have to encrypt your data. How would you encrypt your data if you don't understand the different concepts in cryptography? You also have to put in place identity and access management. That way people cannot just log into your systems, or you are not just using your password. So if somebody compromises your password, they will be able to log in. So we move into identity and access management, right? How would you do anything to protect your company if you don't understand? And these are your baseline knowledge, right? So if you had no clue what the baseline knowledge should be, I'm walking you through. because that is the foundation of anything and everything you are going to do in cybersecurity, whether on the blue side or on the red side, whether in GRC or beyond, right? So, and learning the core technical fundamentals also will, be included, or that and your baseline. So 1, 2, 3, they all kind of, fall within the same line. Understanding security concepts. So basic security concepts, not just understanding them by definition. Like if I ask you what is a CIA triad, right? Somebody will just say confidentiality, integrity, availability. Yes, it's true. But what is confidentiality? Confidentiality is protecting our systems from unauthorized access. That is true. But how does that apply to anything that we do? Right. So if you are learning your baseline knowledge and learning your core technical fundamentals, you shouldn't learn that just by theoretical academic exercise. It should be in relation to how does it apply to anything that we are doing. Right. So this is for people beginning from scratch. You should, and even if you're in the industry already and you took a shortcut and you're lucky and you're where you are, it's not too late to go back to the basics and fundamentals. And every single time, when you have time, just go through that, because as you go through it, you are broadening your understanding and you are seeing things even better, right? Now, having your baseline knowledge, learning the core technical fundamentals, understanding security concepts, and acquiring some certifications, all of that is good. But then one thing and this is where most people get stuck, right? And they want to apply to jobs with this, right? I run into people who are like, yeah, I'm just looking for a job. So if you guys provide any assistance, I'm like, okay, what have you done? Well, I did the Google CC, cybersecurity certification from Coursera, and you're ready for the job market. Yeah, I think, and maybe later I'll write Security Plus. Okay, what projects have you worked on? Well, then you see how the conversation will start, going left. And you think you are ready for the job market, so employers are going to give you the job. I mean, they have cousins who have CC also. They will just give it to their brother and train them on the job, right? So most of where people get stuck, they don't even have the whole story when it comes to baseline knowledge, when it comes to learning the core technical. Even if you quiz them on, and these are just, up to this point, it's just an academic exercise. If I'm quizzing you on this, in the basics and fundamentals, and you're all over the place, then you're not even ready to move into this space, which is the fourth one, most important, that employers are looking for, is practical hands-on skills. And you follow this loop. So you learn, you do, you document. And we are going to come to documentation, right? Because I have a very good example when it comes to documentation as well. Some people will learn and do, they don't document. And this is where they also get in trouble during interviews. So kindly look at the order that we are going through, right? You establish a good baseline, you learn your technical fundamentals, you understand security concepts. So what are some of the security concepts? Maybe a little quiz for everybody on here. You can raise your virtual hand. I think I've kind of broken down some of the baseline knowledge that you need. Also, your core technical fundamentals, that includes your CIA triad, your people, processes, technology, right? And all those. Now, when we talk about security concepts, what are you can unmute raise your virtual hand and name one security concept, just one, right? And you can explain what it is, and the next person can also do so, right? What do we mean by security concepts before we move into practical hands-on? Any takers on this? I know there are a lot of people in here who know, who at least even if you are not sure, just say you might be right.
I'll say cryptography.
Cryptography, okay. Ralph, please go ahead.
Okay, by security concept, we mean network the infrastructures that are put in place to mitigate any cyber attacks, e.g., DMZ, network segregation.
Okay. Yes. So security concepts, they mostly come with one name or two names. Right. So let me just give you a clue. They come with either one name or two
Hello.
names. Yes, go ahead, Abraham.
Yes, thank you. I think one security concept is defense in depth.
Yes. First thoughts, please go ahead.
Principle of least privilege.
Yes. Right on the money. David, please go ahead.
What you excuse me? What you mentioned earlier, the CIA triad.
So CIA triad will fall in your core technical fundamentals. Right. Ransford, please go ahead.
Zero trust.
Yes. I think most of you are catching up on security concepts. They usually come with two names. Ifosa, please go ahead.
Segregation of duties.
Yes. So we can keep on and on and on. So at least you have an understanding of what we are talking about. And, so even being able to differentiate between where to put this type of knowledge, where that is, at least knowing that you are ahead, right? Because what most people, if you are not able to categorize everything that you are learning, it becomes so much, it's like a very big ocean. You don't know which is which and where to place what. But once you start to group them and categorize them into different baskets, now they all start to make sense, right? And when you run into any issues, you know what to draw from, right? So at least for the security concepts, zero trust, principle of least privilege, defense in depth, and the list goes on, right? So there are some that are pure security, some fall within GRC, and so security concepts are security concepts. Right? So now we are moving into the practical hands-on skills. So the practical hands-on skills, I'm not referring to using tools. And I keep stressing on this all the time. Knowing how to use a tool doesn't mean you can do the job. Either than that, then everybody on here can be a world-class chef because everybody on here knows how to turn on a stove. You can use a blender. You can use a microwave. So why can't you cook? Right. I mean, you can use these tools. And some of us can cook, but, you wouldn't even want to eat your own food. So hopefully everybody understands this space. So if you know how to use Splunk or Nexus, and you spend 7 months using ServiceNow, that doesn't mean you can do the job. Because guess what? When you get to a company and they are not using Nexus or Splunk, what are you going to do? And two, even if they are using that. So let's stick to a vulnerability scanning tool. Doing a vulnerability scan, everybody on here, even if you've never worked a day in cybersecurity or you consider yourself as a non-IT person, you are not IT savvy. I can show you how to do a vulnerability scan within 20 minutes or 10 minutes most. And anybody who knows how to use this tool will attest to this, right? So maybe the basic one, going there, doing your basic scan, maybe discovery scan, you put in your IP addresses or your domain names, you choose whichever type of scan you want, you hit scan, and what do? You wait and see the magic, right? Now, when the scan is done and you generate the report, that is where the actual work begins. Because for the vulnerabilities that you identified, how do we triage? How do we resolve those? What is your strategy in doing that? Yes, the vulnerability scans, some will give you some recommendations on how to fix them and blah, blah, blah. But if you don't even understand the vulnerability itself on there, how are you going to categorize them and how are you going to fix it? Because that is what employers are looking for, not to tell them, hey, this is everything that is wrong with your network. Alios. I mean, they can have anybody do the scan. So knowing how to do the scan itself, that is not it. But knowing how to interpret the scan, coming up with remediation strategies, that is the actual job, right? Now, if you don't know what you're doing, AI tools, Google, YouTube is not going to help you. That is why we started with baseline knowledge, your core technical foundation, understanding some security concepts. So when you get into this portion, even if you don't know all of it, right, and you look it up, because you have a baseline knowledge, you have some technical foundation, and you understand security concepts. When you look it up, whatever AI or Google is telling you, you are able to scan through and say, okay, this is nonsense. This, yes, I think this, is in line with. So at that point, it's not the tool, any tool that is helping you, but you are using the tool to augment what you are doing. Because anybody on here who has used AI or Google, or if you are a subject matter expert of what you are searching about, or you have some really good knowledge in the area you are searching about, sometimes you see what AI is going to give you might be nonsense. But if you don't know, i.e., you don't have the baseline knowledge, you don't have the core technical foundation, you don't have any of these, then you are just copying and pasting what AI is going to give you, then you are in for a treat. Or what you are going to find on Google, or what somebody is talking about in YouTube. Right. So you cannot beat this if you want to, work in this space 2026. Right. So building your hands-on skills, you can do this by getting yourself into programs like our GRC internship and workshop, or you can volunteer in organizations and, just work for free. They will give you maybe a project or two to work on. You are building your real world hands-on experience. So I want to stress on that because some people think, oh, I've used QRadar, I've used this, I'm learning how to use this on my own. So that is you're not going to, hardly will you go to interviews for them to tell you, walk me through how to use this tool. That might be one question. The rest of the questions are not going to be about tools and tools and tools and tools. It's going to be about how do you do this? How would you conduct risk assessment, or what is your experience conducting risk assessment? And you're not going to tell them, well, I use ServiceNow. Okay, to do what? To conduct the risk assessment. What exactly did you do? Walk me through it. Right. So I can't stress on that enough. So you have to, the learning is this portion 1 to 3. The doing is here. Right. Now the documentation, this is the documentation. For any project that you've worked on, you have to create a portfolio. Right. So this is the project. This is what I did. These are the steps do it within your own context. So for folks who are in our GRC workshop and internship, one of the things that we are having them do now, they didn't used to do in the past, but we're having them compile or do a portfolio of all the projects that we worked on. And then we will give them one after they are done, right? So that portfolio is part of how you are going to market and package yourself, because you can put that on LinkedIn as well. And that is going to get you a lot of traction. Oh, I worked on these projects. So even if you are a career switcher, right, and any recruiter looks at your profile and they are looking at you've worked on all these projects within, and then they reach out to you and you are speaking to it as well. They see your level of, in-depth understanding of the concepts and the things you did. I mean, that is going to be the difference between you and somebody else who has just done 1 to 3 and they are trying to break into the industry, right? Now, specializing should be a Z. Now, to specialize, you don't specialize at this point or at that point or at that point or at that point. Now, when you've actually worked on different projects and you've actually see them in real time, that is where you can choose, okay, I did risk assessment, I did incident response. I did this. These 2 or 3 areas are areas that I really love. So I will want to, focus on those if I start applying to jobs, right? So that is what we are looking at now. Some other areas like cloud security, application security, and others, AI security are also areas that you can look at, right? But you see the order that we have this, you should follow the same order. You can't jump one and go to, because most of the courses people are advertising out there, they start you from here, specialized. You are specializing with what baseline knowledge, with what core technical foundation, with what security concepts do you know, right? What hands-on have you done? Do you even know what you're specializing in? And they just teach you maybe 1 or 2 tools and some frameworks, and that's it. They are bundled. You are ready for the job market until you go to interviews where you are going to get to know that you are not really ready. Now, the next one, 6, is to build a portfolio, and that is what I was talking about here. Now, build a portfolio and a network. So building a network, everybody here, you are building a network, right? You are here because you want to be part of the Eretmis community. And that is good, because if you need assistance, if you need help, there is somebody on here who's done what you're doing or has gone through the same path, right? And then also, if they find, I think last year, or was it 2024, in June, July, or about there, we had about 7 students get a job in a row, like all of them within, I think, a space of a week. And 3 of them were in the same internship group. And somebody in the internship group referred one guy to, a job, because he wasn't qualified for the job because the job was based in a specific state. So he reached out, hey, you might want to look at this. And he got the job. Right. So, and there is a lot of that, some of our Eretmis community members are also, part of their interviewing team for their company. And I know 2 or 3 who are literally the ones who are going to sign off and employ you. Right. So if you are in a good network, that helps. That also doesn't take away from the fact that you have to do all these, because you can be in a network all you want. If you don't have the base knowledge, the technical foundation, you don't have any hands-on, there is very little that anybody in your network can do for you. They can give you the opportunity to interview, but they cannot guarantee you the job, right? Now, the last one is to follow the 90-day plan. And where is the 90-day plan? So the 90-day plan really breaking everything here down into 90 days, right? So we are going to be looking at that here shortly. And I think we might probably be able to also post that. All right, so as we are going through this, the links for the Google, the school, and then also for the WhatsApp group has been posted, so you can take a look at it. Now, roadmap for professionals who are seeking advancement in cybersecurity. So for them, for people already in cybersecurity space trying to advance, once we are done with this, we will look at folks who want to start off from 0 into GRC, right? And then, but what we looked at is the foundation for anybody who wants to start off in GRC also. The foundation is the foundation. So for the roadmap for professionals who are looking to maybe double up, have another job, or advance, one, for them, they have to start targeting specializations. So target high growth specialization, target a niche for yourself like PCI. Like you can, if you want to play in the GRC space, you can target, frameworks, specialize in frameworks. So PCI, you can do so too. Also ISO 20701. But look at the framework that cuts across all industries, right? You can also specialize in HIPAA and say, hey, I'm just focusing on health organizations in the healthcare industry. That is also, a specialty. Now you can specialize because you have a foundation in cybersecurity already. You've been working in the industry already, right? And then also you have to pursue advanced certifications. That is also strategic, right? I know most people starting off want to jump to CISSP, CISA. All of that is good. But those certifications really, if you don't have what it takes to back it up, then you have it. It shows you are smart. But really, that is how far employers are going to look at it, right? So if you've been working in the industry and for more than 2 years, or you have a security plus, I'll say shame on you, right? A big shame on you. At least for 2 years working in the industry, you should have upgraded yourself, move up to security analyst, go do CISSP or something, right? Don't just be too comfortable with what you are doing and with that one certification, right? So with that, we are going to move into 3, and 3 has been highlighted. Why? Developing leadership and business skills. So as you are rising up the ladder, your technical know-how and skills and demand for your technical abilities and aptitude decreases. And guess what increases? Your non-technical skills is what increases, right? We can make you a GRC manager or senior GRC lead if you have no leadership managerial skills, right? You have no project management skills, communication skills, and all these are non-technical skills, that are kind of subjective. But to rise up, you have to develop your leadership and business skills. Right? Kindly make sure you're muting yourself. So with that, I can't stress on that enough. For anyone in the cybersecurity space now working, if you want to moving up, you shouldn't go lateral, looking for another role in what you are doing. You should try to move up. So, and you don't have to work for 10 years to be able to eye a managerial role or a senior role. Try to, jump from where you are, challenge yourself. That is what I'll say. But also make sure you are developing your leadership and business skills. And how do you do that? By volunteering for tasks. So if there is a team that you're not part of, you can volunteer to be part of it. If they have to set up a team to do something, you can volunteer to lead a team. You can, so all this is going out of your comfort zone, right? So, and then making sure you are learning more about the business side of cybersecurity. So in your organization, and that goes back into the volunteering. If you have a cybersecurity manager or a director of cybersecurity, establish a good relationship with them. Reach out from every now and then, ask them, hey, is there anything you want me to help you with? I can do your slides for you. That is a trick and a way of you getting to know what they are doing and helping them with it. So as you are doing that, guess what you are doing? You are learning, right? You can help do their slides for them. You can research about things they want to present to management on. So you can become their personal assistant, even though you're not getting paid for it, and that is not your job. But what you're doing is you are learning their job, right? So if you have to go interview for such a role, you know exactly what they do in that role. And that is one trick that I'm giving you. If you don't do that, there is no way you are going to know what they do, right? You might think and assume this is what they do and probably, but if you've actually, you are doing projects for somebody in like higher management, doing their presentations, doing this and discussing with them, they will also, give you more insights into what you need to be able to rise up. And stay current with AI-driven security tools and risks. So stay current with AI itself. AI for security, security for AI. We've done a session on that a couple of times. So stay up to date with AI for security, security for AI. How are we using AI to enhance security? And how are we protecting AI also in terms of security? So about 69% of professionals already are integrating and evaluating AI tools. So if you are just hanging out without pushing yourself to learn how to use AI in cybersecurity and also how to protect AI from cybersecurity perspective, then you are making yourself unattractive to advancement, right? And then mentor and build a community. So, for one thing that we do in Eretmis community is that during our internship, and when you enroll in the cybersecurity entry level course, we assign you a mentor, right? Now, during internship, interns have internship and workshop, they have at least 4 mentors per group, Now, all these mentors are people who went through the same program and they are currently working. And why do we do that? Now, some people that we assign as mentors, some take it very seriously, others somewhat seriously, not so much like others. Now, unknowingly to them, what we are doing is we are helping them to progress in their career as cybersecurity professionals. But some of them think is some extra something Dr. Edu want them to do. And what is the need? I got a job already. I'm working. Why are these people disturbing me? Right. And the funny part is for the people that we are assigning to, the current interns and workshop participants, they were also assigned other people like that. Right. And the reasoning behind that is as you are teaching others, you are growing because you have to really, as you are teaching, you are understanding what you are teaching even better. So people ask you questions, you have to probe further into your own understanding, right? So unknowingly to most of our mentors, and we are doing that intentionally because we are building that body of knowledge within the Eretmis space, right? So if you are a mentor in one of these internships, now today is the secret. We are revealing the secret. So we are helping you to progress because for you to progress and advance in your career, you also have to mentor people. As you are mentoring, that is broadening your horizon, and you are going to understand what you are doing even better because people will probe and ask you more questions. So you start looking at things from different perspectives, right? And then also building a community. So the Eretmis, within the Eretmis space, we have built that community. You don't have to look elsewhere. Now we have a lot of people like Michael Yeboah, like others, Frank Osei, and a whole lot of them whom now they also have kind of a tribe. You have people that they mentored to get a job, people who are, understanding them and working with. So others like Kwame and others, there is a whole list of them, right? So as you are doing that, you are unknowingly to you are building that base to be able to grow and jump. Because guess what you're going to be doing in this role? When you hit managerial leadership roles, you are going to be mentoring people under you in the organization. You don't have to wait to get to that level to figure out how to do the mentorship and how to teach people stuff, right? So we afford you that opportunity here in the Eretmis space. So if you've completed internship, you've completed any of these, and even first, we will put some of the high performers who have not even gotten jobs yet. We will still put them in mentorship position because they learn more that way also as well, right? So this is for career folks who are looking to switch careers. Now we are jumping into career switches. So for career roadmap for GRC, we look purely cybersecurity. We are looking GRC now, right? So for GRC, what is going on in the GRC space also? GRC, sometimes people have this misconception. They'll reach out and they'll say, well, I don't want to do cybersecurity. I want to do GRC. Well, GRC is not outside cybersecurity in general. GRC is a subset of cybersecurity. So cybersecurity is broad. GRC is a part of it or a niche within cybersecurity. And that niche is just focusing on governance, risks, and compliance, even though it is not just. I'm just saying that to put it in better perspective, because cybersecurity is bigger than GRC, right? So hopefully you can't do GRC without cybersecurity. If you are doing GRC, you are working in cybersecurity, right? So regardless of whatever noise and what people are selling out there, GRC is a niche within cybersecurity. Now, for GRC roles, it is reason why, for most of the things people are selling and what they are saying, there is a truth to it, right? Because in the GRC space, governance, risks, and compliance, there is a very broad relationship or a broad transferable space when it comes to the GRC section of cybersecurity. Because for somebody who's been working in legal, they've been dealing with governance, risks, and compliance, right? Somebody working in HR, they've been dealing with the same thing. Probably on the technical side, not the same technical things they were looking at, right? If you're in communication, you have a business background, all this is you are in finance, you have a lot of transferable skills, even the strategies and techniques when it comes to the technicality of doing GRC stuff like risk assessment and others. Now, the core content of what you're going to be doing is different from where you used to work, right? But at least there's that transferable skills, a lot of transferable skills. That is why most people think, or they say GRC is easy to break into GRC and right. But I think they oversimplify it. Yes, there's a lot of transferable skills, but it's not how they make it look like. Because you can't do GRC without where we started from, the foundation, the first three. You have to know all that, your cybersecurity fundamentals, your key core foundational concepts. All those are what you need as a foundation to do GRC, right? So in the GRC space, there's a lot of wiggle room for everybody, right? Regardless of what your background is. And for folks who are doing pure security, who want to transfer into GRC, you are still in the same space anyways. But now you are looking at things from a different perspective, right? So we are going to jump into roadmap for career switches in GRC. So aside everything that we looked at, so for the roadmap, if you want to jump into GRC, you still start from where we started from for cybersecurity roadmap for beginners or for career switches, right? So first, you are going to go through all the three and also do some hands-on practicals and stuff, right? Before you get into this side. Now, on the GRC space, you have to adapt a growth mindset, right? Now, what do we mean by growth mindset? In the GRC space, how you think about things, unlike pure security, right? Where your port is either closed or open, you're either secured or not secured. In the GRC space, it doesn't really necessarily work like that. So mindset, how you think and perceive stuff is very important, right? That is why in most GRC jobs, employers focus, they give probably equal or more weight to your behavioral skill sets than your technical cybersecurity skills and knowledge, right? Because mindset is everything here. How you perceive risks, how you perceive governance and compliance is different from how you perceive security in general, right? Pure typical security. Now you also have to build a career development plan. And that is, you talk to most people and you ask them, they say they are ready for the job market, they are looking for a job, they can't find any. You ask them what, job titles are they looking for, or what have they been applying to? Maybe SOC 2. No, not SOC 2. They will say SOC analyst. You're like, what does a SOC analyst do? And the conversation will start to change, right? Is that just talking about some random stuff? Or maybe security analyst. What does a security analyst do? Even that they don't know for sure, but they say they can't find a job. It means they don't have really, they don't have any plan. They think, and most people like that will say, well, I had this training, I can do any cybersecurity job. And, that is very dangerous. You can do any and every cybersecurity job. Are you sure? Right. So that shows that you've not done your research well, right? So now this roadmap, one, mindset, growth mindset, and two, developing a career plan. And the career plan should include everything that is listed here. So you define your target. So, okay, I want to get into GRC. Now, these are some of the GRC job titles that I'm leaning more towards: GRC analyst, IT auditor, cybersecurity analyst role. And, for the job titles, sometimes you don't have to really hang on too tight on the job titles. Look at the job description itself. And then also you decide on which side of the industry you want to work on, right? You want to do consulting, work in a consulting firm, or non-tech companies, tech companies, government side, right? And that goes into what we started with as myths. So if you want to go into the government side and you're not a citizen, don't waste your time, right? There are so many other options for you, because every single time you're going to run into that. That is a big roadblock. So choosing where you want to go, where you want to work. You might think, but Dr. Edu, if you do that, you are narrowing yourself. Well, if you should be open to do a job in any of these companies, right? But if you can also choose, mostly people will. We have a very good example, and I can only remember, like a big example. So we had a nurse, a traveling nurse, George. Uh, George finished his training and everything. Guess where George got a job? George went back into the health industry, working as a cybersecurity analyst, and then now he switched to become a PCI manager. I'm not sure if it's the same company, but the industry that you are in, you can literally go back in the same industry because you understand the industry lingo and you know what is going on in that industry, right? And then you can also, assess gateway roles. So, what are some of the gateway roles? Now we are looking at roles that you can easily apply yourself, right? So if you used to be in finance, now you have the cybersecurity foundation. GRC is a space that you can easily leverage yourself in, and even within GRC, what are some of the areas within GRC or some of the so if in finance you were mostly doing risk assessment on third parties, then here you can also do the same thing, right? So these are going to be, and there are a lot of common GRC roles that employers are looking for, and that is mostly what we will refer to as your gateway roles, right? And then also moving or adding on top of anything you want to do GRC, adding security analyst to it, right? And that is optional. You can, because for you to work in the GRC space, you can equally also do security analyst roles, right? Now, some security analyst roles are just GRC roles in disguise, anyways. Now, this is one thing that you also have to follow. This is for career switchers into GRC. There is what we call the 70-20-10 rule or strategy, and where 70% of your growth comes from on-the-job experience. And on-the-job experience doesn't necessarily mean you have to be working on the job to get the on-the-job experience. 20% from your relationship or mentorship, like you are doing here tonight, and then also being part of our community, and 10% from formal education, right? So this is what we are referring to. So 70% gaining experience through projects, assignments, right? You can be working for free for some companies. You can volunteer. If somebody is working here and you know them, you can, hey, Michael, can I help you with something? If you live close by, you can go to his house and look at what he's doing, help him with responding to some emails. Yeah, all those are. So if you go to interviews, you have a lot to talk about. Now, you can also join the Eretmis internship and workshop, where you are going to work on 8 to 10 major projects. By the time you are done, you have that exposure. You've done third-party risk assessment, internal audits, assessment, incident response, right? Name it. And then you can still do more. If the mentors that you find during the internship and workshop, you can also team up with them and help them with mini projects. Now, 20% relationship is building a network of mentors and sponsors, right? And that is why for our entry level, our GRC internship and workshop, we provide for at least 4 to 5 mentors per group. So, and some of the interns don't even take the full advantage of these mentors, right? You can reach out to them, help them with projects, discuss. And these mentors, they are willing and ready to help because they've been in your shoes, right? Now, 10% is from your formal or informal education here. I'll say informal because if you study on your own for security plus security analysis and the certifications are formal, right? But how you got them. So your education, certifications that you get, degrees that you get, yes, they are good. But these two, especially the 70%, this is what is going to, land you the job, right? So if you're a career switcher, pay attention to this 70-20-10. So you don't focus all your energy. Yes, it's good to have the knowledge, it's good to have the certifications, but only that is not going to get you the job. I can promise you that. And get out of that mentality of they will train me on the job. I always ask this, are you going to hire a driver and teach him how to drive? The answer is a no. Right. So nobody's going to hire a driver and teach the driver how to drive. Now you are the driver. and you are saying, okay, I will get a driver's license. If you can get one without actually driving, right? Like how some people are getting security plus without sometimes literally not knowing anything in security, by memorizing some test questions and passing. If you can get a driver's license without drive, if that is possible, right? And you are applying to a job and you are saying they are going to teach you how to drive, really? You know the answer to that. It's a big no. Now, if you know how to drive and you get to the company, what they will teach you is the different vehicles they have. Maybe how to start those vehicles are different from what you are used to, where to open, the door to the cars or to whatever vehicles are different. That they will show you all day. But the driving part of your job, that is why they employed you. They're not going to teach you that. Right. So hopefully that is clear to everyone. Now, step 4, in everything that we looked at, if you forgot where we started from, this is step 1, step 2. Step 3 is this, not 1, 3, and then we are moving into step 4. So step 4 is executing your plan. Now the plan, that we didn't talk much about. This is the plan. So your week 1, week 2, your 90-day plan, week 1, week 2, you build a foundation. Week 3, 4, network activation. So you have to have a network of mentors, a network of people already in the industry that you can, relate to, and they're also going to help. So if you are outside the Eretmis space, maybe LinkedIn, you can reach out to people and others. Within the Eretmis space, you have a whole list of mentors that you can reach out to without them asking, who is this, or why are you disturbing me? And then in your second month plus, you are going to build your experience, right? So volunteering for a job or joining the entry level, the cybersecurity, if you are new, joining the entry level and building your way to the internship and workshop, or doing similar projects elsewhere, really working on projects, not just using tools, right? So this is the plan: 1, 2, 3, 4. And after 2 months, you'll be able to do this and do more. That is why for our entry level course, the first 2 months, we are focusing on your foundation. Everything that we looked at for number 1 to 3, when we looked at the first list. And then number 4 is where we move you into the internship and workshop. And this is for the GRC roadmap. You've seen that it follows almost the same path, right? So your second month or your third month is where we move you into building real world hands-on. That is where you work on internship projects and working on different cybersecurity projects within GRC and more, right? So we are looking at roadmap for folks already in cybersecurity looking to advance, or within GRC looking to also rise up in rank. So for them, they already have the technical background already, transitioning into a senior GRC role. So if you're a cybersecurity analyst, or you are, you have any other role you want to move into GRC specifically, you don't have to go into junior GRC roles. You can jump into senior GRC roles, and that is where they pay the big money, right? So that is, you are looking at 250 plus your roles, and for these roles, you have the technical background already. So what is left is for you to reposition yourself in terms of your mindset, in how you are going to assess risks and governance, and then also compliance, right? So you have to broaden your perspective beyond controls. In pure security, we are just looking at controls. Like I said, your this port is either closed or open, it's secured or it's not unsecured, right? This control is in place. That is all that we are looking for in pure security. Now, GRC goes beyond that. It's more perspective. It's more return on investment type thinking, right? So in the GRC space, your perspective has to be, you have to move beyond just controls. And then we're also looking at earning governance-oriented certifications. So for certifications like SIM, CISA, and others, will help. If you have your CISSP and others already, that's fine. And then also you have to cultivate enough soft skills. Like I said, the higher you rise up, the more soft skills you need than technical skills, the lower you are in the food chain, the more technical skills you need than soft skills, right? So if you want to rise up high, you really don't, it is not years of experience necessarily, because you can have 10 years of experience working as a SOC analyst and still wouldn't be able to make the cut for a senior GRC analyst role. Because guess what? You probably don't have the soft skills, leadership skills, managerial skills needed to do that. But for somebody who has those skills already coming into this space, when they level up in terms of the technical side of the house, it's very easy for them to jump straight into senior roles. And most especially if you're already been working in cybersecurity, right? So soft skills, cultivate soft skills. I can't stress on this enough. Anybody who wants to rise up, even if you are coming into the industry, we have students who jump from no cybersecurity background, go through entry level, do the internship, and now they are holding managerial roles, cybersecurity manager roles. And you might be thinking, yeah, but you're new in cybersecurity. Yeah, they are new, but management leadership is not new to them. All you need is to polish up on the technical side, because like I said, as you rise up, you need more soft skills than technical skills, right? So yes, you have to have a good grasp of the technical skills, do a lot of projects, and then you can leverage what you have already from any other field and move up. So, but if you still talk yourself out of that and think, then it's just you talking yourself out of it. It doesn't mean you cannot do it, right? Now, take cross-functional projects. If you are within cybersecurity already, like the example that I was given in the technique, volunteer to help other teams, the compliance team, the risk or the third-party team, out of your own time. That is your cross-functional projects. So work on some projects that is not your job. That is going to help, open doors, because you are also going to see exactly what you need to be able to polish upon, right? And leverage existing technical expertise, which I've stressed on that already. You have the background, right? So we are going to look at some tips for landing a role. And before we do, for anybody here, if you are totally new, you want to begin a career in cybersecurity, don't go waste your time on some other courses that is not going to get you where you need to get to, right? If you want the pure technical knowledge and skill, and also the hands-on, we encourage you to look into our cybersecurity entry-level course. It comes with the training, the hands-on job prep, a job placement prep, so a resume and interview prep. And then for folks, if you've done some training elsewhere, you don't have to start from the beginning. You can start working on some real-world projects, learning exactly how the job is done, not just using tools, but how exactly the job is done. Like if I ask you, walk me through how to conduct risk assessment, you're not going to tell me you use ServiceNow to do what, right? You have to walk me through the process. So first thing to look for is what framework are we using? Now, once we establish that, and that is going to be we choose it based on your company's, either your compliance obligation, so we walk you through all that before you select that. And then what register are you going to use? There is a whole, if you've done it before, it's easy for you to talk through and analyze every single portion of it. But if somebody just showed you how to do it with a tool, what framework is the tool based on? You don't even know, right? You are just clicking, and you think that is it. But for folks like that, I don't blame them, because they don't know what they don't know. So that is why we are showing you the right way. Get into this, and you are going to see the difference between you and other folks on there who are applying to the same job. So this program really helps you to get your hands dirty working on different cybersecurity projects and GRC projects as well. And then for folks, if you're already in the industry, you are looking to broaden your horizon. If you are starting from scratch, we encourage you to go with entry level. If you are starting from scratch in cybersecurity and anybody convinces you to just jump straight into cloud security is a specialty area, right? Now, it is needed in all of security, but if you don't understand the basics of security, then what are you going to be doing in cloud security? Because it's the same basics and fundamentals as it applies in the cloud, right? So for cloud security, it's for folks, either if you have some IT background already and you're trying to switch, then you can, easily move into this. But with no background at all, we encourage you to go with the entry level, right? So it's not just about selling a course to you, showing you what you need and what is going to be helpful to you. But for everybody else working in the industry, and if you really have no background in cloud, we encourage you to look into this. Very, very informative. You are going to do a lot. Also working on different projects within this space: AWS, Azure, Google Cloud, all three major ones. And then for AI governance, I can't stress on that enough. If you are still on the sidelines waiting, I encourage you to, look into this and jump into it as soon as possible. For folks who are already in the cybersecurity industry working, and for the AI governance space, if you have no IT background, you want to start from scratch, this is also an area that you can target, right? You don't need cybersecurity background to get into this. So AI has come to stay. It is not something that is coming, it's here. So knowing how to govern, how to conduct risk assessment on AI tools and all that, that is what you are going to be focusing on. So it's literally like doing GRC, but for AI, right? Now, our payment security compliance, our PCI DSS niche, this is arguably the most lucrative niche. If you are looking to be making the 200 plus figures in cybersecurity, we encourage you to look into this also as well. So the start date for all these courses will be put out next week. So you'll be able to jump onto any of these. And our cyber chats, we have a WhatsApp group that has been posted as well. Now we are looking at tips for getting hired. What are employers really looking for? And also, just by the side, we are going to set up an interview club. It's long overdue. So the interview club, what we are going to be doing is literally every week, or we are going to meet probably, depending on the folks I'll be able to get on there to help. We will do real world live interview sessions. So everybody, if you are willing to be part of it, then you are willing to put yourself on the spot, right? We interview you, we give you some critiques, and then we will give you the job description and everything. We interview you, give you some critiques. And if you have a job interview coming up, you can also bring it on board. We are going to interview you on it, right? Do all three interviews, and then your own peers are going to critique, and they're also going to know what you are doing wrong and learn from it. So that is what we are going to be doing here in the very near future. Maybe hopefully by next week, if everything is set up, we will push the link out and we will take it from there. So now getting hired, first then target a role. So don't be like everybody or most of the people that I talk to. Dr. Edu, I think I'm ready for the job market. I did some training elsewhere. I have a master's in cybersecurity and I've been applying to jobs, but the industry is saturated. Nobody's calling me for interviews. I'm like, okay, so what roles are you applying to? Well, and what can you do? I can do everything. You can't do everything, right? And that is where we start the conversation. You can't do everything. So pick a side. Pick a side. It's like if you want to fight 10 people at the same time, how is that possible? So you can't fight all 10. So just look through the 10 and pick one person and just tell yourself you are going to, die with that one person. So you are going all out attacking just that one person. Maybe probably if you beat that person badly enough, the others will run away. Or even if the others want to beat you, they can beat you all they want. But that person, you are not letting go anytime soon. Right. And that is their person. So they might probably, keep their hands off you for you to also leave them. And I'm saying all these funny stuff to let you know you have to pick a side. So are you applying to on the red side? Are you applying to pen testing jobs? Or are you applying to, because some trainings out there, they teach you a bit of pen testing, a bit of GRC, a bit of, so once you're done, those are the people who say I can do everything. Well, you know a little bit about everything, but you can't do everything. So pick a side. If it's GRC, even within GRC, what roles are you targeting? Okay, I'm targeting third-party risk analyst, and I'm targeting maybe GRC specialist roles. So pick and choose. And now you go all out on those three. So you don't have to choose just one. You can choose 3, 4, and just go all out on those. Right. Now, when it comes to the next one, prioritize hands-on evidence. So for these different roles that you're going to target, what is your hands-on evidence? What is your portfolio for each of these roles that you want to target? We talked about portfolio earlier. Maybe they will do a session that will be focusing on how to do your portfolio, setting it up. We'll do a series of these sessions. Mostly we do this at the beginning of the year, right, to get everybody situated well. Now, networking, your network, the networking that we were talking about, who is your network, right? If you get an interview or if somebody is working in an organization and you want to get hold of them, or if you run into any issues, who is your cybersecurity family or a GRC family? That is what I want to ask, right? If you don't have any fallback plan, well, I encourage you to join the Eretmis community. It's free to join, right? It's not any of our training courses. It's free to join, and we do these sessions for free to educate the community. And then stay updated, right? Stay adaptive. AI is here. It's not going anywhere. Now, interviews, employers are sneaking in AI questions. What is your perspective on AI security? How would you, right? So all those you have to, you can go back to our cyber chat videos and, look at AI for security for AI for security, right? So we will do another full session on the hiring process. We've done one in the past and what exactly employers are looking for, hiring managers, the different types of interviews. But this is some of the big tips. So choose a site, choose 3 or 4 roles, prioritize your hands-on experience. So if you have no hands-on experience and all you have is just some theory, kindly go get some hands-on. So you can either join our GRC internship and workshop that goes beyond GRC. It covers other areas of cybersecurity, or you can go get it elsewhere. But either or, you have to get it, right? Without that, employers are not going to look at you favorably, right? Even if you slip through the cracks, which some people do, this is still going to spit you out of that job. It's going to spit you out, right? You can fall through the cracks, but there's going to be another crack that is also going to open for you to fall through and get out of that job. So, before you do that, you become a working heart attack first, right? So you're going to probably get high blood pressure before they fire you or before you quit. Because if you don't have the hands-on, you don't know what you're doing on the job. And if you don't know what you are doing on the job, at that point, no tool will help you. Google cannot help you. Your friend who is doing the same job cannot help you because he also has a job to do. You cannot call him all like the whole entire day for him to walk you through what you are doing. He also has to work, right? So it's good for you to have your own knowledge and skill, work on some projects, and then you'll be good to go. Then your network, Eretmis is your family now. If you are new here, join the family, stay up to date on what is going on, and you should be good to go. So on that note, we are wrapping up for tonight. I appreciate everybody's time and staying all the way up to this point. If there are any questions, you can kindly bring it up. And we are going to have other follow-up sessions on this because I know there are a lot of folks on here that are on our bucket list that we have to cross out. They have to get a job or they have to get a job. Where is Gabriel? Gabriel's goal was, I have to make this work, so I have to get a job or I have to get a job. And Gabriel eventually got a job. Right. So for everybody on here, if you finished any Eretmis training, you are not working yet, probably chances are you are not putting in the work because there are a lot of people that I'm seeing on here whom I have not heard from for a very long time. Right. Maybe you are doing applications on your own, but like I always say, if you are going to an interview and you don't know about it, you are so wrong. Reach out for help. If what you are doing is not working, reach out. We'll revise it. We will go over it, come up with a different strategy, polish up what you are doing to make it work. And that is what separates Eretmis from any other school that you're going to go to. Right. Even for college that you paid 80K and up, 20K, 50K, you are not going to get this assistance anywhere. That you can call and reach out, book an appointment, and somebody talk to you, help strategize. You're not going to get, let alone a boot camp. Once they are done with you, that's it. Whom are you going to call? We have that relationship? Nobody. And all of you know, some of you have been to different boot camps and they did you dirty. For us, Eretmis, even if you can, let's say maybe Dr. Edu has been ghosting you all week. You find Dr. Edu Friday night. Or you sent an email to David and Dems and there's always an avenue for you to any issue and problems you have. You need a mentor. There's somebody who's done what you're doing for at least a year, 2+. We can link you up to them and they'll take care of you, right? So we believe more in the family than just business. Business is good, but family is better, right? So you are welcome to the Eretmis family. If you are the first time of you being here, if you are here already, you know how we do here. So on this note, if there are any questions, you can kindly bring it up before we wrap up. If not, we are going to wrap up and we will meet next week, same time, with another exciting topic. But for everybody on here, kindly, the year has started. But this is the from now till February ending is where recruitments are really massive. So this is the opportunity for you to push your applications, start pushing, start interviewing, right? Don't wait till when almost, they spent all their money. Companies have spent almost all their money, and that is where you are looking for an opportunity, right? Kingsley, please go ahead.
How do I join the WhatsApp group?
Oh, the link has been posted in the chat. So you can, it's being posted again. So you can use that. The link is there. You can also join the school platform as well. And if you have any questions, you can use a link here to make an appointment to talk to somebody. And for everybody new, there's a free course, Cybersecurity for Beginners, very informative. I bet you most of the times you learn more from this than any of the paid courses that you find yourself in, right? Even for the free course. Lillian, please go ahead.
Yeah, so thank you very much. On the club, the interview club, would that be open to everyone or just to the students of the academy?
Oh, we are working those fine pieces, right? Because we're gonna have dedicated people run it. So at least but it's not gonna be anything, even if it's gonna be paid probably less than $50 monthly subscription. So something of that nature, right? Not anything big.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, and then there's also going to be an AI companion that comes with that you can call on the phone and they will help you interview prep, right? So they can actually interview you if you have any. So it's going to be pretty fun. Now the AI 7-day challenge folks, they know how to do that. So we'll probably have some of them set this up for us. All right, everyone. Appreciate everybody's time. Nice seeing everybody again. Happy New Year to you once again, and kindly keep applying, right? For folks that code names that I don't want to mention, this year you are all going to, at least by the first quarter, if not, working, you should be at least that close, your last interview to get your appointment, right? So appreciate everybody's time. Have a great and wonderful weekend. We will meet again. We'll meet same time next week, and stay safe.